as you begin to do the momentum wheel, one of the things I want to speak with you about before you begin is this idea of awareness. And to me, awareness is paying attention on purpose to what is going on around you and inside of you. Oftentimes we have a great ability to avoid stuff and not pay attention and go on autopilot. As you begin to do your momentum wheel, I'm going to ask that you pay attention with awareness so that you can get an accurate reading of what is really going on in your life. One of the saddest things I see happen with people is they may live with a spouse for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and they end up in my office, and one of them says, "I never imagined that he would leave. I had no idea anything was wrong." And when I first began being a therapist, I was like, oh, that is just, how can that be true? But as I've watched people through the years, I think it's honestly true. People had no idea. They had a partner that was leaving them after a significant amount of time, and they had no idea. They had paid attention to no signs. And that's not to blame the other person. I hate blaming. I don't think it has any place anywhere. I don't think it gets us anywhere, so I never look to blame another individual. But I think I do look at it as lack of awareness. The other huge place I see people being unaware is with their children. They deny that they're doing things that the children even admit to doing. So I think there's this tendency in all of us to believe what we want to believe despite overwhelming evidence of something else. So as you begin your momentum wheel, I ask that you take a look around. Take a look around your world and take a look around inside you and try to get an accurate measure of where you actually are on all 10 of these things. Often when I do them with people, and I've shared this story with John, I will do these, when we first started this, I would do these areas of momentum wheel with people, and often people who were very high achieving would say they were 10 on all of them. I mean, they were just, they had them all down. And I would say, okay, that is really great. Now what I want you to do is, before you come back and see me next week, next month, I want you to bring me some evidence of how these things are true. So if your marriage is a 10, what are the actual actions you're doing that make it a 10? Is it that you're going on a date every week? Or is it that you kiss before you leave and before you go goodbye? Or is it that you talk throughout the day? Where is the evidence that things are really a 10? And what usually happens for people is they begin to realize maybe it's not a 10. Maybe what happens in their house is sometimes people leave and they don't even say goodbye, or they don't greet each other when they come. So we can't make improvements on things that we're not aware of. So the first thing when you're doing the momentum wheel is taking an honest look at things with as much awareness as possible, and not believing the first thing that you think. Another thing I often say is, you are not your thoughts. Just because you think it does not mean it's true. That simple statement has changed my life as well, because I used to think if I thought it, it had to be true. And at some point I began really working on, okay, this is what I think. Do I have evidence to support this, or am I just kind of creating this in our own mind? So I want for you to have as clear a picture as how you're actually doing on all these pieces of the momentum wheel as possible, so that you can make an active choice in how you want them to be in your life.